Hello, welcome to meditation class. I am Grace Lannon, Angel Face Grace. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer, and today we're going to be doing a spirit walk meditation. So this is going to be a guided visualization where we are bringing in the energy of Reiki and energy healing to support us, while also opening up a space for mediumship to communicate with spirits. So if you have a spirit guide in mind that you're wanting to connect with, or you're working on your mediumship or psychic development practice, this is the perfect meditation. We're basically opening up an opportunity for us to have a conversation with our spirit guides. If this is brand new to you, you can still hop in and just set the intention that you want to connect with your spirit guides. Maybe you're more of a God person and you want to connect and say, I'm connecting with God. That is absolutely welcome here as well. If you have a specific guide or deity or energy that you work with, or if there is a spirit in human form, perhaps your great grandmother or someone that you love dearly that you would love to practice communicating with and connecting with their energy signature, we're going to set that intention. So before we start, I also have with us some supportive guides. I have our carnelian crystal. Do you like this background, guys? I feel like it's very camp, and we'll see if I keep it. Um, I'm on Zoom recording our meditation tonight. Then we have the dragon card. The dragon, guys, guards the crystal. We have power and strength in the dragon, and the dragon is so connected also to our heart space. So when we connect with our breath, I think this is a powerful way for us to open up to this more transformative energy that the dragon represents. So we have the dragon and we have joy. So reconnecting and connecting to joy always is so important, especially when we are in the field of wanting to connect with spirit. We want to connect with these energies from a place of play and joy, because I think that's a really helpful practice when beginning these things to put pressure off yourself. You don't have to be this perfect medium or this perfect psychic. No one is, even if you're professional, no one's perfect. And this is just an opportunity for you to experience energetic healing, trance healing from the spiritual realms, as well as perhaps getting some information and messages and having a spiritual experience. But this is just a practice. So we can do this again and again and again to further develop this ability. So with psychic work, you're working, a lot of people describe this as working in the clear senses. So this is our regular senses, but in the spiritual realm. So we can smell things spiritually, we can see things spiritually. You might see visuals when we do this meditation, and you might not. You can hear things spiritually, and that's not always just a word and a voice in your ear. Sometimes that's more coming through our thoughts, and that gets confusing. So again, a practice. And then yada yada yada. There's other senses too, the feelings and the other one I'm forgetting, the knowing sense. So that's a lot of people say I get a download coming from somewhere. So some of you just might know at the end of this meditation, oh, I was connecting with my grandma. But you might not have had a visual image in your mind's eye, and everyone sees things differently. Some people don't see anything in their mind's eye, and that doesn't mean they can't have spiritual experiences in terms of a visualization. A visualization is mainly, I think, the word to describe it because so many people might understand what that means. But we're using all of our senses when we go into these meditation practices and these specifically space to connect with mediumship. So, if you are ready, you can be on the ground. I'm on a yoga mat, or you can come into a chair if you want to do this practice while you're lying down. That's also amazing. You can pause the video, and I'll give everyone a second who doesn't want to do that. I'll give everyone a second to get comfortable. Um, And yeah, I'm going to open up with a little prayer and intention setting so that even though we're not together physically, I'm opening up this energy for you to receive, but also setting the intentions that we're, in this sacred, beautiful space and only the positive energy is welcome here. So sometimes when we connect with spirit, it can bring up things that are emotional and that might feel negative, but we are setting the intention that we're still connecting with these energies of unconditional love, and sometimes that brings us into a realization that can be difficult, and that's okay too. So, um, allow yourself to feel, experience. If you want to get a journal, you can write down some things that come up after this practice, or simply take it as it is and let this energy move into the body, let you feel it, let you vibe with it throughout the week. So, if you haven't already, getting seated, cross-legged on a chair or lying down, whatever you're most comfortable. I would like us to all bring our hands into a prayer position, or you can bring your hands onto your heart. So let's take 3 deep breaths here together. If you want, you can close your eyes for the entirety of this practice or just have a soft gaze. But I encourage you to close your eyes if that's comfortable, because I feel that it will help you tap into that psychic sight a little bit more deeply. A lot of mediums work with their eyes open, so you don't need to close your eyes to see spirit. But I think when you're beginning, it can be easier to not have so much to concentrate on. So hands in the prayer or on the heart. 3 deep breaths here together, in through the nose, out through the mouth, eyes closed. And I ask whoever is here with me watching this video and connecting, we are opening up a circle of light, healing, protection, and strength, knowledge, only unconditional love, endless healing, information, and guidance is welcome here. We are asking tonight to open up in meditation with the intention to connect with spirits that are connected to us, our loved ones in spirit. Maybe you have someone in mind, our ancestors that love us, honorable, healing, intelligent ancestors. Or maybe you have a friend on the other side you want to connect with tonight. We also invite in God, spirit, universal life force energy to support us. And if there's a specific energy that you work with, a guide, an angel, you're welcome to ask them to connect with you tonight. For me, I always like to call in Archangel Michael. I feel that he provides strength and protection. And if you're open to connecting with him, you can call his energy forward as well. And tonight we are open to receive, again, helpful, sacred, powerful, empowering guidance, any information, insight, or simply energy that we can receive to help us further connect with these spirits on the other side. So in mediumship, they often call this sitting in the power. And we'll just stay here a moment, just feeling into this energy of spirit. When they say you're sitting in the power, you're not doing stuff, you're not asking questions, you're just simply sitting in the energy of spirit and just seeing what you feel. We're going to stay here a few moments together, holding this space open. And again, inviting in universal life force energy. If you practice Reiki like me, you can invite in that energy. If you're open to receive Reiki tonight, I ask to infuse this energy into the video. So wherever you are in all time and space, you're open to receive. this energy and let it flow through your body from head to toe, surrounding your aura with love, unconditional healing love. You can lower your hands to the top of your legs or wherever is going to be most comfortable. We're going to stay here in this presence for about 2 minutes, just noticing what you feel. If your mind is wandering, start talking to yourself. You don't need to ask questions to the spirit yet. Just start talking to yourself, saying, "What am I feeling in my body right now?" Noticing any sensations. Am I seeing any images? Just asking yourself these questions. What am I perceiving right now? And then when in doubt, if you feel intensity or you feel bored or you feel, I don't like this, coming back to your breath. And of course, this is always your decision. You can always walk away from a practice if you're like, I don't want to do this right now. But sometimes we need to push ourselves a little deeper into presence because it's difficult to be present. So staying with this energy another minute, and then we'll go into our visualization. And taking a few more deep breaths, just noticing how you feel. We ask tonight any energy we move or shift throughout this practice is released into the earth to be recycled and renewed. We welcome and make space in our energy body for the gifts from our spirit guides and the messages. And if at any point, oh, I thought I saw a spider, you guys. If at any point you, that shook me out of it. That's interesting. I wonder what that message is for me. So if at any point, that's a big exaggeration of it. But if at any point you feel the need to move during this practice, go ahead and lie down, move around. You can even like listen to this while you're walking, literally, because we're going to be visualizing a walking meditation. So if you want to walk and listen to it like an audio, that's great. Um, but let us relax into the visualization. We're in the field. And sometimes when fear comes up, it's a clearing, I feel. And I've had many experiences like that where something frightened me and I feel like it pushed some energy out of me that I wasn't ready to release. So use that little spider disruption as a message for yourself too, that sometimes, you know, when you fall and you stumble and you're like, oh, why the heck did that happen? Sometimes that's a way that energy's clearing because maybe you're not taking the time or it's not working to move through you in the way that you usually practice. So just be open to new experiences and looking at them through different perspectives. And of course, we don't want to be in a constant state of fear, but it's more those little frights, like when someone walks out of the corner and you're like, oh, those feelings, sometimes things can move out of us. Okay, so in our spirit walk meditation, if you want to think back to that guide, that angel, that loved one, or simply your intention being connecting with spirit or God tonight on your walk, just bringing that to the top of the mind, that you're open to connect tonight during this practice. And your open line of communication during this practice. You can create boundaries around this so you don't want to just open up all the time. You're saying, during this practice right now, I'm open to receive. The light is on and I'm ready to connect with spirit. And see who calls, see who makes a call. So, in your mind's eye, do your best to follow along with the words I'm describing. Again, as we talked about earlier, maybe it comes through in different sensation, just it's not always visual. So don't put this pressure on yourself to be perfect and to receive everything in this supernatural, that's so raven exaggerated way. It might not be that intense. It might be very subtle. Be open to the subtlety. Spirit moves through the subtle energy bodies, the aura. It's very gentle. It can be loud, but it's also very gentle. So imagine yourself standing in the middle of the forest, feeling your feet on the earth, noticing what this looks like in your mind, and creating the scenario if you need to. What do the trees look like? Redwood tall trees? Are they short and bushy? Just seeing how the trees look to you in this forest. Seeing how the trees feel to you in this forest. This is a sacred healing space. And the trees act as guides tonight to help us through this experience of opening up to communicate with spirit and with the other side. Acting as a grounding force for these energies to come through, a space of connection. This is the third space, this forest tonight. Spirits don't have to come to you or in your body. You don't have to go to them or in their body. They can come and visit and say hello tonight in this forest. What do your feet feel like? Are you barefoot? Do you have shoes on? Are your feet wet? Can you feel the earth? Can you feel the breeze on your skin, in your hair? Feeling your whole body in this space, in this forest. What would it really feel like if I was standing in the forest, asking yourself, placing yourself in the space? What does the sky look like? Is it nighttime? Sunny, warm, completely covered by the trees? What does it look like? Feel yourself beginning to walk in this forest. The sensation of your legs moving, of your body moving, the smell of the beautiful plants surrounding you. Walking through the forest, it feels delicious, so grounding, so comfortable. There are no bears in this forest or any other snakes or things that you might be worried about tonight. Maybe if the bears are here, the snakes are here, they're not here to harm you. They're here to send you a message. You are safe in this forest, surrounded by the circle of light, healing protection. And if you choose, this Reiki flowing through our whole bodies, clearing energy out as we make space for connection. Coming to a bend in this trail, you notice a beautiful stump, very comfortable looking, a place for you to take a momentary rest. Maybe you can imagine yourself taking a sip of water or adjusting your body how you would sitting in the forest. Again, we know this is no ordinary forest, for this is a healing vortex. A place of receiving, a sacred space you can return to in your mind or in meditation. When you feel comfortable, you can begin to invite this spirit, this energy, this angel forward to connect and sit with you in the forest. Their energy will approach soon, coming forward. Maybe you just feel it like an, a different vibration. Or maybe you notice it in a certain part of your body. For me, I always feel it in the back of my head, or I'll get chills, different sensations, where I know something's shifting. And we're making space for essentially creating a portal for spirit to connect with us. And in this space, they are welcome, and we are welcoming them. Imagining this angel, this spirit, this loved one coming forward. Whether you see them, feel them, or hear them, we're open to connect. And when you feel the spirit, this energy shift, and something come forward to connect tonight, you can invite them to go on a spirit walk with you. Walking through this forest, they begin to bring you messages, healing, insight, or simply just energy. Maybe it's all telepathic. There's no words. There's no images. It's just feeling. But we're going to go on our own inner journey. We're going to leave you here about 5 minutes, asking any questions, simply receiving, or seeing what Spirit wants to bring forward to you. Maybe they have a message or insight to send you directly. And again, if it is most comfortable for you, you can always invite in the energy, God, source energy. If you don't feel you're ready to connect with a specific spirit, just asking that energy of universal life force, God, source, spirit to be present with you, or even your higher self. But we all have guides and angels, and they're welcome to connect with us in this practice. So visualizing yourself walking through the forest and just seeing what comes up. Surrounded by this light, we will meet you at the end of the trail. Doing a little cleansing and clearing. And I ask if we're willing to let go tonight, letting go of energies that are holding us back from deepening our connection to spirit and feeling more comfortable with our own gifts of mediumship, psychic work, connecting and communicating with God, source, energy, loved ones, making it more and more comfortable for us, enjoyable for us, and making us not fear or be in shame of these gifts. Taking 3 deep breaths, just imagining letting that all go. Doesn't happen overnight, but we are willing to release one place at a time. If a miracle wants to happen, we're open to receive. Let it all go at once, but don't be discouraged if you feel like you have to keep practicing again and again. That's how we get good at anything, even spiritual work. It's an art. 3 deep breaths. If you haven't taken them already, and saying our final goodbyes, final messages to these spirits, these guides, knowing they are always present with us and we are always welcome to invite them to connect with us in meditation, in dreams, or in specific times where we want to communicate with them. But just knowing they're always with us and we can always do this practice again. And we're just going to kind of bring our body back into presence before we open our eyes. So imagine again, we're standing in that forest. We've said goodbye. That forest is going to begin to fade and shift into the space you are in now, listening to this practice. Knowing we can always go back to the sacred temple in the forest. This vortex of healing is always available. But we're pushing that away now, cleansing and washing it away, erasing it away out of our mind's eye until we can bring our attention back to the space you are in now, listening to this meditation. Begin to feel the presence of your body. Can you feel yourself seated on the ground or lying on the table or the bed or the couch or wherever you are? What does it feel like? Are there any textures you can begin to notice? I'll invite you to gently begin to touch your body from your right hand to your left shoulders and just gently rub down your body. Give it a little squeeze if you want your muscles, but just do that a couple times, just telling yourself, okay, I'm here, I'm back, I'm coming back into my body. Then we're gonna have your left hand over down your right shoulder and rub down, wash it away. Letting yourself know, hey, I'm here, I'm here. Bring your hands to your heart. You can begin to tap your chest, flat hands, or if you want to do little fists, opening up that heart space. Bringing that down, either fists or flat hands to your stomach, your solar plexus, all the way down your belly button. And then do the same thing with your legs if it's accessible to you, rubbing down to your feet and just saying, hey, hey, hey. If you can't reach, you can simply just wiggle your toes, roll your ankles one side to the other. And taking, again, 3 deep breaths in the nose, out the mouth. Let it all go. Bring your hands to the top of your eyes, just pressing very, very gently on your brow bone, almost covering your whole face with your hands, and just wiggling your face, stretching out a little bit. If you want, you can tap, tap, tap your jaw or your throat, tap the top of your head. Big, big stretch overhead or to the side, whatever is easier and accessible in the position you are in. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Before we close this video, I'd just like to thank any spirits that came forward, Archangel Michael, or any spirits that we individually collectively connected to, whether you watch this video when it uploads or many years from now. We just like to thank those energies and again ask any energy we moved or shifted through this practice, through this Reiki, and through this presence to be released into the earth, to be recycled, renewed. We don't need to hold on to it. We ask all these psychic and mediumship messages to integrate through our body. Maybe something came forward that we didn't understand. We ask more clarity to come forward as we continue to understand and deepen this practice and our own individual way of communicating and connecting with the other side. And we ask now to call all our energy back to us, sending our energy back to you, my energy back to me, sending all these spirits back to their correct space and time dimension. They don't need to stay with us, but they are always present with us. And in our hearts and in our minds, we can always reconnect deeper and deeper. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you'd like, you can bring your hands to your heart. And one more deep breath. So be it, so it is. Allow these messages to integrate. I am so very curious what your experience is like. So if you so choose, please send a comment or reach out to me on Instagram. I'd love to hear about your experience. And again, this can be a continual practice. So if you want, I will put timestamps in this video so you can see when we start the spirit and we open up to the practice so that you don't have to watch the whole thing again. So, love you. See you in the next video. If you want to connect one-on-one, hit me up and I'll see you later. Bye.